Oh, yeah. Guess what? Guess what? Playing some Rogue Trader, baby. It's loading up here. Rogue Trader is sort of like Baldur's Gate, but World of Warcraft. I think Owlcat actually did Baldur's Gate too, didn't they? I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm excited to play this. Heard great things about this game. And I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be real good. Oh, okay. I can use the gamepad. Uh, yeah. Let's try the PS4 controller. English, obviously. Save zone offset. I don't know what that means. Okay, that looks good. I guess we could fuck with it though. I think we'll turn the gamma up a little bit. Brightness. It's pretty good. Contrast. It's pretty good. Alright. Color setting for players with Pratanopia. I don't know what the hell that is. Alright, get ready for an epileptic seizure. Important notice. Please read the following. I accept. Dark Heresy. Okay. The music is fucking awesome. Alright, main story. Let's do it. Take up the mantle of a rogue trader, the scion of an ancient dynasty of daring privateers that reign over their trade protectorate and explore the fringes of the known galaxy. Darkness looms over the bloodline of von Valancius as it faces multiple threats from within its own ranks and without, as countless enemies seek to destroy the most daring and brave agents of humanity. It is up to you to hold the reins of this shattered protectorate and forge a new path for the von Valancius dynasty. Currently finding itself in a vortex of wars, intrigues, calamities, and heresy, the stakes are high and rise even higher as you cross paths with terrifyingly powerful and ambitious adversaries in the darkness of the Corunus expanse. Grim darkness of a far future, there's only war. This mode is the ultimate challenge for the boldest of Lord captains who want to truly immerse themselves in the world of Warhammer 40k with the highest stakes possible. All decisions, victories, and losses in the Grim Darkness made are final and irreversible. You only have a single save, which is updated automatically every time you exit the game. No loading from an earlier point, no second chance, and no changing previous decisions. If you manage to successfully overcome all obstacles and make it all the way to the epilogue, bringing glory to the von Valancius dynasty, you'll receive the There Is Only War achievement and a special item for all your future playthroughs as a testament to your skill and bravery. If you party or your void ship is defeated in battle, your grim darkness journey ends there. You will be offered to either honorably accept your fate and delete the save or continue the game in custom mode. However, completing this story will not grant you the There's Only War achievement and the special reward the Emperor protects. It is possible to turn off the Grim Darkness mode at any time, converting it to a custom mode. Once this is done, it cannot be reversed. As soon as you change the mode, you will no longer qualify for the achievement. Okay. Oh, so this is multiplayer. Alright, I'm just gonna set next. Okay, so you can choose your leader here. Got Darius, Akata, and Bahador. An operative uses intelligence and perception to find and exploit weaknesses in an enemy's defenses. None can withstand an attack from an operative. Core focus, precise single attacks, defense penetration, area debuffs, consistent firing position. Death World background. On Death Worlds, the plants, beasts, and sometimes even the environment itself takes aggressive and destructive forms inimical to human life. While it's exceptionally difficult to colonize, many Death Worlds possess valuable resources that require an outpost or other human presence upon the planet's surface to harvest. These harsh environments result in some of the hardiest and most resilient populations in the galaxy. Those tested and found wanting die young. Crime Lord. Imperium survives and prospers, in no small part due to the narrowness of its vision, but a rebellious mind and will such as yours cannot be so easily constrained. The dark paths of smugglers and renegades that wind beneath the facade of Imperium society offer a dangerous refuge for those unwilling to bow to the law. You used to be one of these dangerous yet resourceful individuals. Shadow of Torment. You were arrested and thoroughly interrogated using creative and violent methods. Gives me a -5 to carouse. You managed to corrupt an entire star system and turn it to your personal den of thieves. Logic +5. Surefire plan. At the start of combat, the Crime Lord gains +1 intelligence bonus stacks of the Surefire plan effect. Activation of this ability consumes 1 stack and makes the next action stronger depending on the type of action. Let's see. Targets one enemy with no line of sight. The target immediately gains +1 int bonus /2 exploits. This is a little bit complex.
Fit for the Fon Phalancius Annals.
Alright. See, Bahador is a warrior. Warriors are combatants boasting exceptional melee prowess, capable of dealing high damage in close quarters combat and withstanding heavy amounts of damage. They also excel at drawing enemies' attention from less dependent allies. Core focus melee, movement and dodge, armor and parry, taunt, soaking damage. Death World. Commissar. Okay, so you can shoot your own guys. Let's check out a custom character. You can make a Fatso. Okay. This guy looks like a psycho. Let's do this guy. Or we can do a custom portrait. Get a new portrait. Okay, we need to actually put in a custom portion if we're gonna do that.
My tactics are flawless.
Alright. Just, let's do this guy.
Lay in the course.
Okay. Basically got Slavs and Asians. Looks good. It's good. Weird. They've got some good beards. Mustache. We're going with this. We're doing oil man. No tattoos. Augmentations. We don't need any augmentations. We're
Macro cannons! Volley!
Heresy grows from idleness.
This could be an opportunity.
Unleash the storm of macro
Ru curiosity.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? Looks
Ruin.
Plan spat.
Power.
We have purified the battlefield of the enemy's tape.
Nice. Alright, Death World, Voidborn, humans birthed in the belly of the void. Let's see. We want intelligence. If we do an Imperial world, we can from some stuff here. Okay, so what does toughness do? Toughness defines how easily a character can shrug off pain, as well as how easily they can resist toxins, poisonous environments, diseases, and other physical ailments. It increases the chance of resisting negative physical effects and the amount of a character's wounds. For each point of a toughness bonus, character gains plus 10% wounds. Alright. Agility, intelligence. Right. Let's check out everything, I guess. Agility. Measures a character's quickness, reflexes, and poise. High agility allows a character to manipulate delicate explosives with finesse or keep their footing when crossing treacherous terrain. Improves the character's initiative, dodge, chance, and reaction. If a character uses a melee weapon, their dodge reduction is equal to half of their agility. Alright. Oh, shit. Intelligence is a measurement of the character's acumen, reason, and knowledge. For each point of intelligence bonus, characters deal 5% more damage with non-burst ranged area attacks. It also affects the lore, Imperium, lore, warp, lore, Xenos, logic, Medicae, and tech use skills. So I'm pretty sure we're going to want that. Perception. Describes how well a character perceives their surroundings. Characters with high perception can pick out a stray bolt or shell casing in between the day-to-day morass of an underhive, or even tell when someone's being deceitful. Okay, I like that. Willpower. Oh, damn it. Reflects the character's ability to withstand the horrors of the warp, the terrors of space, and the dreadful opponents they are bound to encounter in the Cronus Expanse. High willpower allows characters to expert control over a crowd or interrogate a heretic. Also increases chances of resisting negative mental effects and psychic powers. Fellowship. Represents the character's ability to interact with other creatures, to deceive, charm, or befriend them. High Fellowship will help a character to find a way to approach a gathering of unsociable servants or effortlessly make deals with treacherous merchants. Okay, so we're definitely taking that. Alright. Astra Militarum Commander. Plus 5 Fellowship, plus 5 Coercion, Athletics, Ballistic Skill. Commissar also gets that. Regimental Tactics. When used for 1 round, the Astra Militarum Commander and their allies do not suffer damage from allied attacks and deal plus 20 plus 2 / times spell bonus, more damage to enemies that were attacked by them since ability activation. If multiple Astra Militarum commanders are in combat, the effect does not stack. Alright. I don't know. Okay. See, Commissar. Mr. Priest, Navy officer. Awareness, perception. Noble. Alright, so for a Navy officer, brace for impact. The Navy officer grants the braced effect to each ally, including themselves, in a 5-cell radius. The effect lasts for 1 round. The Navy officer gains +1 charge of this ability at the start of combat, and then wounds drop below 50% at the first time in combat, and each time an ally falls unconscious for the first time in combat. Alright, Noble. Noble assigns 1 ally who will become their servant until the end of combat. At any time the Noble's abilities affect the servant gains +5 to all characteristics until the start of the Noble's next turn. Anytime the servant attacks a target that the Noble dealt damage to last turn, the servant gains 10 plus Noble's FEL bonus % critical hit chance against that target. Okay, that's pretty good. And they get Fellowship, Coercion, Persuasion. Sanctioned Psyker. Oh, they get a lot of abilities. I think we're going Noble. Apex of Brilliance, your strong presence, persuasive. Okay, so that's Persuasion, we get Commerce, and Coercion. I think we'll do Persuasion. Okay, now we take a penalty. We'll take a... So what does this do? This ability to resist negative effects applied by some poison stimulators or alcohol may give access to new dialogue options. Okay, yeah, I'll do Shadow of Torment. Hi, Kitty, what's up? Guess I can be a warrior. An officer, an operative, or a soldier. I think we'll do officer. Let's see what it does. Core focus, extra turn, single target buffs, rescuing allies momentum. Bring it down. Let's bring it. No, we don't know what these do. Okay. Now we'll do officer, not knowing what it is. Okay, now we can increase our skills. We've got 30 available points. Fellowship is pretty high. I think we'll probably have companions that do a lot of muscle shit. So we'll boost perception, fellowship. And willpower. Agility. And we'll just boost up fellowship even more. Sweet. Sword class frigate. The sword class frigate is a classic voice ship design proven in thousands of battles, combining decent firepower, high speed, and respectable survivability. That's what we get. Patient Fortune. Randomizing Daring Destiny. Beta Medacium. Guardian of the Brink. Let's do that, that's pretty sweet. Ignatius had a name. Konstantinos. That's awesome. Alright, doing that. Konstantinos. Alright. We're good. Arch militants always use the right tools for the job, being extremely versatile with all kinds of weapons. Alright, here we go.
An excellent place for contemplation. One has the best view of the cathedral from here. Mesmerizing, wouldn't you say? An impeccable manifestation of the God Emperor's sublimity.
Okay, so you're in dialogue. Here you can learn more about current events, influence the character and you are speaking to, or even alter the course of the game's narrative. The character's personal story depends on the dialogue choices you make. Available dialogue options are displayed in the right. Select a reply with your choice. Okay. Have we met?
Allow me to introduce myself. Conrad Voigtveer, Master of Whispers, in the employ of Her Ladyship Rogue Trader Theodora von Valencias. At your service. I haven't had the pleasure of speaking with you in person before.
Voigtveer bows his head and focuses his attention on you. Highlighted words can help you better understand the world of the game or its mechanics. Press W to switch to description view mode. You can switch between the words using... words are highlighted when they first appear in a text. Use R in the dialog box to see the desired highlighted term again. Okay. Duke Constantinos Eos Venria Dival of Calixis. You may call me Your Grace. My name is Constantinos.
My regards, Master. Or should I say, von Valencias, scion of a blessed rogue trader house in the service of the Imperium. Perhaps this kinship came as a shock to you. Understandably so, given that all evidence of the connection was lost in the generations separating you and Lord Captain Theodora. It required no small effort on the part of Her Ladyship's servants to discover and verify this blood tie, which has now made you one of the heirs of this dynasty.
I assume you had some goal in mind when you decided to seek me out. Let us address it.
But of course, I have come to invite you to a meeting with Lady Theodora. I imagine you have many questions for your patroness, and I'm sure she has just as many questions for you. It is regrettable that you haven't yet had an opportunity to speak. It has been an arduous voyage thus far. The Lord Captain and Master Edelthrad von Valencias are conversing on the observation platform. Let us join them there.
Okay,
We shall
Theodora.
reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Okay, so we can turn the camera around. Interactable objects. Some objects in the game can be interacted with in a special way. They are marked with specific icons. Some icons allow you to study objects. Others will transfer the character to neighboring locations or launch a small event. These icons become visible when your character is standing close enough to the interactive object. You can interact with such objects using X. If there are multiple interactive objects next to the character, you can switch between them. One. Some interactive objects, such as doors or chests, are not always marked with icons. Move your character closer to the object if it is highlighted. Then the object is interactable. You can also bring up the cursor using L3 and hover over icons or highlighted objects with it. Use the cursor to interact with objects by pressing X.
The Divine watches over us.
one of the Fon Valencia's trophy rooms. Perhaps you would like to take a look around after your audience with the Lord Captain.
What's happening? Run! The servitors have gone berserk! May the blessings of the Divine grant us the courage and strength.
To survive in the grim darkness of the far future, you will have to face enemies of all kinds and fight for your life. These hints and tutorials will familiarize you with the combat system. Press. All battles in the game turn-based take place on the grid. On their turn, a character can move, attack, and use their abilities. Select a cell within the highlighted area and press X twice to move the character there. Movement points determine how far a character can move in their turn. 1 MP corresponds to the cell on the battlefield. Moving diagonally is more costly versus second diagonal cells uses 2 MP. If any of these turn movement points are restored to their maximum value, note that once a character starts moving, this action can no longer be cancelled. Alright. Just shoot. Okay.
My enemies shall be crushed like dust beneath my feet.
How do I attack? Plus this reload. Pistol shot. Okay.
Rejoice in service.
Miss. Red. Character just missed. To increase hit chance, equip your character with a decent weapon and place them on a vantage point. Abilities and talents that improve the weapon skill characters will help you get improved in close combat. For improved marksmanship, learn talents to increase the perception of ballistic skill characters. Alright. Let's see.
The Emperor commands.
Alright. Okay. and turn. I'm getting behind this guy.
Your end is nigh.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot.
And so shall it be done.
Did a little bit of damage. This guy's being useless, man. Alright,
Rejoice in service.
damn, I suck at guns. This guy is useless. Characters with melee weapons block adjacent enemies' ability to perform attacks with ranged weapons, pistols, or shotguns, or an exception to this rule. It's going to fire at 20 range. Alright. Back, dude. Nice.
I will not let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
What suspiciously poor timing for such an accident. Servitors malfunction on the officer's deck at exactly the same moment when the rogue trader and her heirs are gathered here. I have blocked all passages between the upper and lower sectors of the residential decks. If this is a deliberate attack, it should stop the culprits from advancing their plan. I'm afraid I must remain here. For Lady Theodora's safety, I have to oversee the execution of these orders personally. I hope you will have no difficulty reaching the observation platform on your own. It is just at the end of this corridor.
The wires in the servitor's head are still smoldering. It would seem the cause of this malfunction was the short-circuiting of the motor.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
The Minros battle tank reclaimed and restored by the grace of the God Emperor, the first to breach the capital walls during the pacification of Vortes Shitan. Branch of the sentry gun constructed with the blessing of the Adeptus Mechanicus, using a standard temple construct in the Malfactorums of Kialakan. Violet alloy, which upon closer examination turns out to be a handcrafted object, whose symbols carved with a primitive tool are visible on the surface. We're not gonna look at all this stuff. See deck enforcer. Open the map by holding that. Okay. Okay.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Crew member is hard at work, bowing his head in fear and avoiding even looking at you. Alright.
that is simply irrational, Lady Theodora. Assimilation into the trade structure would be political and economic suicide. Practically an admission of heresy.
Then suggest an alternative that will satisfy me. I have described the situation. No worse than my seneschal could have done. Make a decision. What will you do with Ion 6, Edelthrad?
Survey the room. The first impression of Edelthrad, who appears to be about 30 years old, is a parchment-like skin stretched over a tightly bundled mass of sinew, implants, and bone. The nervously twitching fingers, the face twisted by a slight tick, and the jerky movements are all signs of some illness or defect that has taken over his physical form. In stark contrast to Edelthrad, Theodora von Valancius' features appear as if they were carved from marble, eternal and indestructible. Head raised high, proud posture, hands clasped casually behind her back. Everything seems to emphasize the difference in status between her and Edelthrad. Next to the two of them, you see two more men. One is gray-haired officer of impeccable bearing who is studying the contents of his data slate. The other is a behemoth bristling with holsters and baldricks containing all manner of weapons.
Our second candidate has joined us. Approach and give me your answer. Consider this hypothetical situation. Ion 6. A new world on the fringes of the Coronis Expanse. High seismic activity, regular magma eruptions, metamorphic rock deposits, prospects for large-scale mining. The world is populated by natives who worship some heretical underworld spirits that protect those who offer them sacrifices. Flights of fancy, you might say, but attempts to install ore extractors have failed for the second time. The mining crew sent to the planet's surface simply vanished overnight. My question to you is, what would you do with this poisoned treasure?
Okay, your character's skills reflect their knowledge and capabilities. Some dialogues automatically initiate passive skill tests. If a test succeeds, new information will be revealed or hidden dialogue option will unlock. If your character is traveling with allies, a party member with the highest score, any applicable skill is selected for each given passive skill test. Sweet. There are ways to confirm whether what is happening on Ion 6 is witchcraft or not. It might cost several psychers to do so, but it will give us the answer.
Thorough, but presumptuous. It took me a great deal to find one psyker who could serve me well for many years. Yet you speak of several.
Sanctioned psychers are rare and valuable instruments of the Golden Throne. Or do you suggest that we use heretics, who are an offense to the God Emperor's light? It would be rather careless of you to utter such profanity in the presence of his faithful servants.
We're both servants of the God Emperor and Lady Theodora. Does it become anyone of our status to engage in petty feuds?
Even among his flock, not all are of a piece. I suggest you familiarize yourself with that fact before you are sorely...
Edelthrad, I believe I gave you an assignment on this ship. Explain to me then why my senior congregator is still dawdling about the officer's deck, instead of proceeding to the middle decks to commence the inspection of the compartments in his purview.
I beg your forgiveness, Lady Theodora. Your presence has such a profound effect on me that I well forgot the time.
So, why are you here?
Was it not you who sent for me?
You have seeded the opening that was offered to you in a woeful display of meekness. Admittedly, this tendency is equally strong in all who toil in the Emperor's service. Immutable hierarchy, absolute obedience, lickspittlery, compulsion to please. I value none of these things. From the moment my envoys came for you, the terms of your existence changed. My name is Theodora von Valancius Massimo of Scaris. I am a rogue trader in the service of the God Emperor of humanity. And my rights and freedoms are vindicated by a most sacred relic. The warrant of trade, kept aboard this very vessel. Mine is the honor to venture into the darkness, beyond the Imperium, and carry humanity's light where powers wicked and heretical reign, and bow death and ruin to us all.
Alright, get off your high horse.
It is my decision alone to determine the fate of whatever I find past the bounds of the explored void. Every world I discover, along with all there is to find thereon, resources, people, riches, and mysteries, is mine by right. I command millions of lives, rule over numerous planets, and possess fortunes that no planetary governor or commander could dream of amassing. And you are one of those with von Valancius blood in their veins and a rightful claim to this inheritance when the hour comes.
One of? Does this mean there are other heirs?
Naturally. Some have yet to arrive on board, but you have had the pleasure of meeting one of them. Edelthrad may be somewhat disconcerted by the scale of the responsibilities that may potentially fall upon his shoulders. However, I have a good feeling about him as a candidate. Blood right alone is not enough to earn the high honor of becoming the bearer of a warrant of trade. Nonetheless, your abilities and talents may yet prove useful. If not for the role of Lord Captain, then for that of their closest ally. Alas, even those responsibilities can at times be too challenging for those who share your blood. Kunrad Voitvir served me for many years before he made his mistake.
If you're satisfied with Edelthrad, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Edelthrad as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors. The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. Your noble descent is a sign that power lives in your very flesh and blood. You would never doubt your words or actions. Never show weakness. Never let an involuntary gesture or a careless word betray your fears or agitation. At least, if your upbringing was as thorough as mine was in my time. Many will grovel at your feet. Governors, commanders, highborn navigators, conceited lords. And you cannot allow them to sense weakness in the one who stands above them. Moreover, your remarkable mental abilities were noted in your profile. If you can find a way to exhibit them in the service of the von Valancius dynasty, well, so much the better.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly, and as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voitvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
I'm ready to take on this sacred purpose.
Oh, yes. You would be, wouldn't you? The question is, am I ready to choose you over the rest? You came aboard hours before the warp jump, and have not yet distinguished yourself in any way. As things currently stand, I have doubts that you are suitable for the role of rogue trader.
Alright, thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
I'm kidding. Come on.
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is ancient. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who yet live.
Okay, what are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my aide.
Where's your ship headed?
The Rykad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Coronis Expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rykad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time. In that case, I shall head to... Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks. Seneschal, if the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
I will cast you into eternal darkness.
Welcome back to Active Turns. Initiative roll. The order of turns is displayed on the left side of the screen. From bottom to top, the character at the very bottom goes first, then the one above, and so on.
I can handle this.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Break them around. To the heretics.
I've suffered worse.
Chaos guides me. Brace yourself, Avalon.
Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind are marked with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, the character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance that enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them will increase. The character will not receive a bonus if attacked from his side not protected by their current cover. Alright. Can I not go there? Sweet. Alright, let's see. What are my specials? Noble assigns one ally who will become their servant to the end of combat. Officer forces an ally to fully push themselves, increasing their characteristics by 15 per round. Additionally, all the officer's abilities can be applied to the target. A voice command from any distance. The character who becomes the target of voice command cannot be targeted by this ability again for the next 2 rounds. This on this guy.
I won't suffer this.
Target has to be overexerted, voice of command imprinted. Okay. So will work.
Death to non-believers! Out of my way!
Gotta hurt.
My place is at the fore.
I took care of this one. Stay vigilant. For the glory of the Imperium! Actions will speak. Your corrupt way has failed you.
I landed a critical hit that deals increased damage equal to the character's damage stat. It's 150% of the normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase it. Certain weapons have their own critical damage stat, which is set for the character's total stat value during the attack.
I serve the ruinous powers!
For now.
Weapon at the ready. Another step towards our ultimate victory.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad. I have seen many an officer who panicked at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Alright.
Know your duty.
Where am I going?
Thank Providence you are alive and well.
Always on time, eh, Kunrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Mort, pull yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Vox Master is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Gellerfield failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only Voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officer's deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
We must provide immediate assistance to those still in the middle decks. Perhaps then we might stop this wave from spreading.
First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the Navigator's Sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once. Edelthrad, where is he? I must know if he is unharmed. A Psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's Psyker powers.
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
In whatever state, what does that mean?
We are in the warp. Considering the attack, there could be a disruption in the Gellerfield and the infiltration of malevolent forces onto the decks. Psykers can react to such things in the most unpredictable ways.
Enough! Master of Whispers, you must not allow my heir to turn into a mindless mutant and to perish under Enforcer fire. Do whatever it takes to bring Edelthrad back to me.
I shall do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power. You will do as I say. I'll have your heads if you fail. Is that clear? Then move out.
You can't please this bitch.
Mort, come.
Come.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
I shall make do either way.
Of course you will. Lady Theodora would never have someone she couldn't rely on as one of her heirs. But that is no longer relevant.
Something hits you hard with a sharp crackle, and you are consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. Oh, shit. Oh, he's a traitor. Promise you a special destiny, Constantinos. It's time to fulfill it. Oh, damn. I knew this guy was a freaking scumbag. Just from his voice acting, you can tell. He's a good voice actor.
Careful, careful. Be gentle with our guest. He has an important mission to complete during our visit to the Warrant Chamber. And for that, I need him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Voigtver, you two-faced scum, you're the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will squeeze it out of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warrant Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates to the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
What is it, inbred? Your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your kind, Fon Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
So we got a coercion skill check here. What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy, you sordid, wretched piece of rock shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion. But thank the gods it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench Fon Valencius watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, droning at your own thoughts, replacing them with a singular urge. Go to the gate, go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head, get out, I'm not your puppet. Voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel the intruding influence forcing you onto your feet and making you take a step forward. The gates looming in the center of the chamber. In the gateway arch, you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises. Let's see. One of the available dialogue options requires making a skill test. Unlike with passive skill tests, which are made automatically, you can decide whether or not to select an option, the consequences of which depend on the result of the associated test. Success or failures affects how the dialogue develops. Depending on the context, you might change the course of the conversation, alter the character's attitude, perform an action whose consequences will only become apparent later. Select the dialogue option that requires the skill test to display the tooltip detailing your chances of success. The number after the skill's name indicates the difficulty of the test. Once your character starts traveling with allies, the party members with the highest skill and the applicable skill will be selected for this test. Alright. Examine the device. Carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components, some of which are unfamiliar to you. You suspect this might be some kind of archaeotech relic. Not experience. The servitor of the gate begins to move with a screeching and groaning of metal. It leans forward closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The servitor's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that fill your head after Voidford wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind. I'm gonna look for anything that could be used as a weapon. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber entry room is completely empty and in perfect working condition. Nary a broken panel or protruding piece of rebar in sight. Zone the sentinel again. The servitor looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. I'll look back.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
All I can do is place my hand in it. Sentinel's jaw clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the servitor's throat, and immediately you're humming as the servo motors start up in the pump's stern motions. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass, the Sentinel's jaw remains closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could stretch your breath, catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever.
High levels of caustic humus. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel, the cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word. Yes, I do require assistance. Pain shoots through your head and subsides as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
There is still another way!
Okay, check the warrant chamber.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint the person to be the bearer of the warrant of betrayal and bestow upon them their dynasty and great mission. To be the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first into darkness, to unite and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns through pain to greatness.
Escort the child of the house to safety.
I need to contact someone, preferably Theodora.
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup. Establishing connection.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the Navigator Sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I need a weapon. I'm utterly defenseless.
Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
What madness is happening here? Who are you? Who interested me?
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel standing by.
Are you the Warrant Sentinel?
Mobile unit of the Warrant Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house, a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by.
Leave me away from here.
Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
As the game story unfolds, you will see notifications at the top of the screen indicating that the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal from the quick access, hold R2. Journal entries help you keep track of the current events and guide your character on their journey. The quest tab tracks the progress of the main story. Here you can find information about any quests you have accepted and their current status. Use the journal to remind yourself about the next step of your adventure. The rumors and contracts sections also contains important information. You will learn more about them later.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours. Let us walk this path to the end.
Okay, where are we going? Can't open the door. Have to look at the turrets. Okay. Maybe this. Go back in here.
Run, fools, or fall!
Damn.
Master! Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voidfur is a traitor. When we parted ways in the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Voidfur openly admitted that he is the mastermind behind the mutiny.
Saints' blood! Then it is small wonder that the heretics are so well organized. I thought his order to seal the passages between decks was his attempt to stop the attackers from spreading to other levels. But now I see the real reason. It was to stop the enforcers from intervening. At least you are alive, and now safe, Master. Alas, I doubt we can afford to look for a compartment to sit out this disaster. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit. And, for the love of the throne, Now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense. Here.
Alright, so you got a stub revolver, sword, armored body glove, medkit. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within 1 round. The exact percentage of the wounds the character must lose for this to happen may vary depending on the difficulty of the game you choose. Injuries reduce the character's resolve. When a character initially suffers an injury, he is considered a fresh injury during first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. Fresh injury can be healed using a med kit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a med kit, but they require the character administering their treatment to pass a Medicae skill test to succeed. Use med kits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note that when a character loses all of their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries they may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a med kit. Med kits can only be used by characters who have the field medic feature, base skill Medicae, or have taken Medicae skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a med kit in battle, a Medicae skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injury. Hold L2 and select Abelard's portrait. Press select the med kit on the panel at the bottom of the left screen, and use it on your character by pressing X. Abelard needs to be standing right next to your character for him to administer treatment. Right.
For the Emperor!
I'm at your service. Look no further.
Okay.
This wound will make a fine scar.
Even in the darkest moments, there is hope. The Divine watches over us!
That's an upgrade control Abelard, sweet.
What advice do you see?
The Emperor protects.
Let's go.
Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment.
Okay. Let's see.
Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment. Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment.
Okay, how the hell do I arm myself?
Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment. Arm yourself. Our enemies may find us at any moment.
I don't know how to arm myself, bro.
No suffering will make me forget his sacred words. Burn the heretic. Kill the mutant. Purge the unclean.
Nice. I'll equip that. A sword. Body glove. And medikit. Okay, I can't use that, I guess.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead. The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are rounding up the scoundrels and suppressing the resistance. The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the Navigator and the Master Helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must reach the Navigator's sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive.
Alright, for the Imperium and humanity, lead the way.
Come. The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle, which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward.
The voice acting in this is really good.
The Emperor is with us.
Combat begins with the tactical phase, during which character cannot attack or take other actions, but may try to take up advantageous positions. Select a character by holding L2, moving the frame to their portrait, and then releasing L2. Choose the cell you want the character to move to, then press X. Where the cells are areas inaccessible to the character. During the tactical phase, each character in the party may move up to their maximum movement points, but cannot position themselves adjacent to an enemy. The new companion is a warrior. Abelard specializes in melee combat and drawing enemies' attacks. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using a melee weapon and is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. Press triangle to switch the ability selection, then select charge. Press X and choose the direction to charge in. If an enemy is in the directed path of charge, Abelard will attack them and will still be able to use an attack action afterwards if he has not used one this turn. This character is using a melee weapon. Melee attacks require the character to be adjacent to the enemy. To make a melee attack, choose the strike ability using directional. Confirm your choice with X, then choose the enemy you wish to attack and press X. Unlike single shots, melee attacks hit automatically with no need for a roll. The enemy will try to dodge and parry the attack if they are using a melee weapon of their own. Melee weapons can be used to make area attacks. All creatures in the area will suffer damage unless they succeed on a dodge test or a parry test if they are armed with a melee weapon. Damage dealt by melee weapons depends on the weapon's parameters and the attacker's strength score. Alright. Charge.
I'm not interested.
That is too close.
My ears are ringing.
Be careful, companions can get hurt by your burst attacks or area attacks. To avoid friendly fire, keep an eye on the trajectory of the shots and the area of effect of the area attacks and melee burst attacks. Alright. Oh shit, is it an area attack? There we go. I guess they're out of my range here. I'm gonna have to, and effect each ally. I don't know what that means. Context menu.
At your beck and call.
Chaos guides me.
Combat abilities character differ depending on their archetype. Available abilities are located at the bottom of the screen and on the abilities panel. To read the full description of the ability, activate the ability panel by pressing Triangle, select the ability, hold R3 to open a complete description. A single press of R3 brings up a quick preview of the description. Press X on the icon, use the ability before the ability is used. You will get the review its estimated outcome. We'll type in the character in the area you're choosing. You will also see the ability's area of effect. And each character in this area will have a number displayed over them denoting the probability of being successfully affected of the ability's effect is guaranteed to work. The ability's icon is displayed instead of a number. When you are ready to use the ability, press X again to confirm your choice. During your adventures, your characters will gain new abilities and talents as the power grows. You can view the full list of available tab characters menu, which can be opened for access R2. Alright. Okay. Let's shoot these guys. Let's shoot this guy.
Rejoice in service.
Great. Alright.
Chaos guides me.
He just shot his own guys. What an idiot. Characters with melee weapons can make an attack of opportunity if an opponent in an adjacent cell initiates movement. It can also be triggered by some abilities. All characters with melee weapons, including members of your party, can make attacks of opportunity with a chance to hit and deal damage calculated just like a normal attack. Alright. So I'm gonna attack this guy.
It will be done.
Damn. Right.
Just a minor setback.
Alright, so I'm using my...
The Emperor, let this be the warning to all who oppose us.
Nice.
Brace yourself, Abelard. Indeed. One fewer target.
Better crippled in body than corrupt in mind.
I took care of this one.
Once a character attacks, they lose their remaining movement points and able to move until the start of the next turn. Alright. So way around this forever. For example, the character has some way of gaining movement points after attacking. Alright. Okay, I'll use my gun on this guy.
And so shall it be done.
Missed him from point blank range.
Follow my lead.
And use my charge ability.
It will be done.
Nice.
I will not.
Sweet. You can advance the level of your characters and their companions, prevailing in battles, exploring the Chronos Expanse, and completing questions to experience points. Once you've accumulated enough experience, your character gains a new level. Hold R2, select the level up icon, then release R2 to open the level up screen. Each level gained offers your Characters' new progression options include new abilities, talents, skill improvements, and other enhancements. Your companions gain new levels at the same time as your character, even if they are not included in the active party during your journeys. You can always increase their level later. Sweet. Alright, we've got to level up. Okay. Alright, commerce. Represent a character business sense and their ability to make profitable bargains may give access to new dialogue options. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with persuasion. Sweet. Let's level up,
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
This boy. Athletics. Carouse. Resist negative effects. Coercion. Demolition. Deactivate traps. Medicae. Let's do Medicae.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Sometimes.
For the Emperor.
I hear it. Here, on the threshold of the blinded guide. Doom comes from the heavens.
Master, watch your head.
Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once?
Okay.
That was too close.
Alright, I think I'm gonna... Here's a diagram of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time the character will get exist.
Sorry, old man. The voices are so loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abala, how they sing.
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the Immaterium, fall under the burning rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your conscience shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you. A diviner, are you?
The voices from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen and discern. But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud. And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare to launch a counterattack.
That's Edelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Edelstrad's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it! You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt. They went after the Navigator, our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the Engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
What? You don't mean the Enginseer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks.
You must see the Navigator as well.
Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity.
This bitch is crazy.
But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a Navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Yeah, stop talking. Adira has joined your party, which now consists of several characters. Their character selection menu allows you to switch between characters. Press hold L2. While moving, all party members follow the character you've selected. If you wish to move only one character or leave a party member somewhere, you can separate that character from the party by pressing triangle in the character selection menu. Alright. Let's save. We'll save over the okay, we only get 3 saves. Alright. Okay, game saved. Alright. I'm gonna peel out. Pretty sweet so far. Really enjoying this. This is better than I thought, honestly. Really freaking good. Basically Baldur's Gate 3.